That's so well put. I mean, and obviously, like, we're all gonna have a different perspective. We're all gonna have our definition of what we believe the truth or what we know the truth to be. But I want you to talk a little bit more of even the science of a conversation or the science of debate when you know there's a skill to actually persuading people and getting them to go along with your message, which we've seen great leaders, world leaders, master. And I think there's a lot of that when, like you said, once you obtain the knowledge, that's one step. But to be able to, you know, use the knowledge and articulate the knowledge is a whole nother path. And the average person doesn't really know how to do that effectively. You know what I mean? They can sit and read all of your books and take all of your courses, but if someone asks them a question, they're like, "Oh man, I know I read it, and I got to get the book." But there's some people who've never read a book in their lives, but they have this ability to convey information and at least their perspective in a way that it's like, wow, that was extremely convincing. And like, you know, we know them all, you know what I mean? The good and the bad, that there's great orators and leaders who have taken society in many different directions just based off of the power of persuasion. Could you speak on that a little bit?
You have to understand the people that you're talking to. In other words, if I'm talking to a group, if I'm trying to reach black people through my platform, right? I might, and I'm talking about religion, I might talk in a specific way. It's not that I'm pandering to them, but I understand that black people, for the most part, need shock factor. If I'm going to start talking to black people about religion and I'm trying to convince them and show them that potentially what they've been studying could be skewed a little bit by and have been copied from some ancient tablets and texts, and that what they're reading isn't exactly what they perceived it to be, that there's a lot more to it. I can't go, hey guys, I want to tell you a little bit about something about religion and what you've been studying, and it's something wrong with it. Let me show you what this ancient tab. They don't want to hear that. I gotta come in and I gotta go hardcore. I'm gonna come in with energy, excitement. Right? I'm gonna come in with shock factor. I'm gonna make bold statements that's gonna have them open their eyes and go, I gotta what this guy's crazy. Let me listen to what he got to say. And the crazier I sound to them, the more they want to listen. But then if I'm reaching to the European group, I'm going to talk more soft, more gentle. I'm going to be more proper.
Interesting.
I'm going to come a little bit more fact-based and give, you know. And so it's this dichotomy between the two, understanding.
Less pageantry.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
I'm going to have a different cadence with the European versus the cadence I'm going to have with the black group.
Interesting.
And I grew up in both worlds, so I can do both. You know, so it's not like I'm faking it. I've done both. And so I grew up around predominantly white people. I grew up around predominantly black people. I started off in the ghetto and then moved out of when I was 16 and started moving towards different neighborhoods and just getting better and better and better. So I've been and doing business with, you know, a lot of rich people. I have billionaires in my cell phone that I call, and we collaborate back and forth with different ideas and concepts and so forth. So I can reach both. And an orator, a great orator, understands the group that they're trying to reach. Like you see Kamala right now in office, she's going to start, obviously she's going to pander to black people. And it just is what it is. It's not negative, I'm saying, but she's got a job that she's trying to fulfill. She's trying to win this office job. And so she's going to talk about making collard greens in the bathtub like she talked about. She's going to talk about, you know, she's going to have rappers show up at her, you know, her conference and dance on stage like she did. I mean, it just is what it is. That's her trying to use the power of communication to reach a specific, and persuasion to reach a specific group of people. We understand that words have power. Words are spells. That's why they call it spelling. All right. So when you're speaking, you're trying to cast a spell, especially when you're talking to a group of people and trying to disseminate information or persuade them. You're trying to cast a spell on those people. I know it sounds dark, but it's an actual fact. When you pray, you're trying to cast a spell. You're trying to say words that are going to alter your reality, your future reality in the third dimension. Same thing when you're trying to persuade people. And so, but the problem is a lot of people don't know how to cast spells. They're not spellcasters. They just don't know the use of words, cadence, energy, exchange, eye contact, all those things. And so because of that, they don't get the result that they're looking for. But great orators, they study how to be orators. They study how to have cadence. They study how to, that's why I took applied neuroscience at MIT. It's all about understanding the consciousness of people and how to tap into it. I can go get a job at Coca-Cola if I wanted to, making $500,000 a year. They'll put me with the marketing team because I'm going to tell them how to burn that logo into people's brains and make them want to drink Coca-Cola, for example. If I wanted to do that, I wouldn't do that, of course, because it's poison. But either way, so understanding, but people have to see if they want to be a great orator or be a great disseminator of information and knowledge, they have to study how to do it, just like anything else.
Right.
You have to learn. If you're not great at it naturally, then you need to learn how to do it. And there are many books on it and many videos on it where people can begin to practice how to do that.
Right. So, and the only reason why I brought all of that up, because I think it gets to that, back to that space of religion and even the sciences, because ultimately most of that was presented to control people.
Yeah.
And usually whoever had the information and delivered the information to the masses the best had the most followers.
That's facts.
So, and the fact where, when we break it down, like you said, whether you're delivering this information to a European community or an African community, the best storytellers, the Jegnas, the leaders, the griots within these communities, they have to have that ability to lead people. Not necessarily with facts.
Yeah.
As we look up into the stars and we create stories based off of, the process and the solstice and the weather.
Right.
People believe these men to be men of magic or great men of wisdom. And alchemists,
prophets, or whatever.
Prophets, or even the most illuminated individuals.
Yeah.
When those people deliver information, the masses tend to follow. Why is that? You know what I mean?
Right.
And does it all root to creativity? The person who is the most creative actually is the one who is the most godlike.
Yeah. Well, when people look at, people are designed to be tribal. The human race is designed to be tribal.
Why?
Well, it's just, and if you look back in the ancient tablets, it was already set from even back then.
For civilization. The more we gather together, the more we can keep our lineage going.
Like, for example, really quickly, I built an underground base, in northwest Georgia.
Really?
And yeah. It was on the History Channel.
Oh, wow.
It's called Fort Terra Nova. It's even got an Instagram page.
Okay.
And it's about the size of 3 Walmarts underground.
Wow. Okay.
360 people can go down there and live for a year off the grid. Totally off the grid, 100%.
Wow.
And
why'd you build that?
Well,
just because of the thing, some things that we don't know. Some things coming.
So it's it's a place you can go be safe in case of a local, regional, or global disaster.
Okay.
And
so we all should be doing and following your footsteps and building some underground Walmarts.
But the reason why I built it, at first I was going to build one for my family only.
Okay.
And then I was talking to a friend of mine who was in the military and who actually lived in an underground base that was built by this company which I used. And he said, well, you need more people. You need a team. You can't do it by yourself. And plus the style, the design you have is not good. It has corners. It's going to crack. It's going to let in argon gas and all this stuff. So I went and got radius engineering, and we then came and built a dome structure underground. He built something for the U.S. military. Oliver North was his contact person at the time. But the reason why I'm saying this is because I realized I needed people who had talents. I need a person who can run a turbine diesel engine. I need a person that can teach. I need a person that can cook, a person that can do, that can be, training. We have a person that can run the hydroponics farm and all these things. It's a lot of work. So in a tribe, you have different people that have different skills that they bring to the table to make that community work. Right. It's a functioning community. Everyone that's in that's on my list of people to be in there in case of a disaster, all bring something to the table. There's nobody just freeloading, right? So, and that's why tribes are important, because a tribe, the people are going to bring something to the table. Now, within that tribe, for whatever reason, the majority of people, I would say probably 90% of people, are always looking to be told what to do. And we know that through marketing. I've had marketing companies for decades. People need to be told what to do. And if you tell them what to do, subliminally or directly, they will follow suit. So once a person rises above that level that they're at, and I don't want to call it the sheep level, but it's almost a sheep level, really, is what it is.
Yeah.
A person rises above that, they see that person as something more than even them. A person with more charisma, more energy, more knowledge, more wisdom, that is more courage and less fearful.
Right.
They're going to gravitate towards that person, and that person will then naturally become the leader of that group.
Wow. That's powerful in that sense, to where, going back to, the leaders of the tribes, and then the information that one believes, because like I said, greatest wars in the world are really fought based off of a difference of opinion.
Really, that's all it is.
And
exactly what it is.
And you get to a space where hopefully you can find common ground and we can all coexist. How do you feel about people who not necessarily haters, but that just don't agree with you?
Yeah.
Like they don't, whether it's agnostics, atheists, or the people who are super duper religious and believe only the word of the King James Bible,
right,
and everything after that is of the devil. There's people who have called you demonic. There's people who and it's based off of their truth.
Yes, their truth.
If because the truth is no man coming to the Father but through me. I'm the way, the truth, and the light. There's people who walk in that only, and it has worked for them. So everything that you're discussing, they don't want to hear any of it.
It scares them.
And it's looked at. It's literally that the way certain religions are set up. If you don't believe what they believe, you're demonic.
Yes, facts.
Yeah. So how do you deal with that?
Yeah. So first of all, I love everybody, and I do believe there's a God because the quantum physics proves that there's a God. I talk about this in my newest book. And so the science has led me to believe that there is one. And I've been studying this Bible and doing book reports on the Bible since the age of 3 years old. Wow. I can give you all the verses, all the quotes.
You sound like Cat Williams now.
Listen, no, my dad, listen, this is why I dedicated my financial book to my dad.
Yeah.
Once he recognized I had a good memory, he just started taking me to these bars in the 70s and put me up on top of the bar countertops and having me reciting.
Entertainment.
Listen, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Freestyle rap and spit Bible scriptures.
Right. I mean, listen, I go, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not. I can give you all these prayers and verses off the top of my dome because I did them so many times.
Right.
And so, just doing that, it became a part of me and understanding like, okay, well, there's something here, but at the same time, because I studied it so well, I recognized a lot of discrepancies that didn't make any sense to me before I came across the ancient tablets and saw that they were copied from ancient tablets that were thousands of years prior. Just a lot like the book of Deuteronomy, for example. It's all about killing and murdering, but the God in that book that's giving the orders to kill is a singular term when it should be plural. When you translate it to the real original language, it's gods with an S.
Right.
And that means it's multiple people sending out people to go fight these wars against each other and kill. And then they're saying, kill women, kill children, kill babies, and bring the spoils of war back to me. I knew as a kid, why does God need spoils of war? He's omnipotent and omniscient. Why does he need spoils of war? Why does children got to die so he can have money or riches or whatever's there? So I knew, but I have grown up with Christians, Buddhists. I mean, you name all the different religions, Hindus. And I have friends right now in my neighborhood that are, one is a hardcore Christian who's married to a woman who's in Islam. Okay?
Oh, wow.
He's white and she's black.
Wow.
And they were at my wedding. I only had a handful of people at my wedding. I got married in Bora Bora.
Wow.
They were there.
Okay.
They were there. And so I've got people that are atheists, people that are super spiritual, even beyond my level of spirituality, beliefs. Like way out there. And so I've got this culmination of people that I collaborate with and work with and see on a daily basis. Some of them watch my kid when I go out of town.
Wow.
And so I don't have any ill feeling towards anybody. I feel like that's their truth and that's where they're at. And if they ask me questions, I'll continue to try to educate them on what I believe or show them the way that I feel it is. But at the same time, they see on my videos, they see me online. Every time you turn anything on, I'm on the screen.
Right.
You can't get away from me now.
Yeah.
And so, it's just an accepted understanding. Like, we agree to disagree, but I still love you as my brother and my sister, and we're still going to be friends. And like I said, I had a Muslim and a hardcore Bible-thumping Christian at my wedding.
Who are a married couple.
Right, who are married. when one's white and one's black. So, I mean, come on. The perception of people out there is that this guy's crazy. But I'm actually not crazy. I love everyone, and I've helped a lot of people. People who are Bible-thumping Christians, I've bought them houses.
Right.
People who are, heavy into whatever Islam, and didn't have any money, I've bought them cars, and I spread the love as much as I can. A lot of stuff doesn't even get publicized,
Right.
But we spread the love as much as we can. We try to help everybody, and my message is out there for people who are ready to receive it and ready to go to the next level with their knowledge.